Hello, Startup City speaking, and I'm having guava and orange tea, fruit tree, fruit tree tea. Um, I'd like to touch on some few points in history about the Pope Rasputin. He was a good old man who was a simple headed person and very easy to sort of trick and manipulate. So, what happened was that the royals are very interested in keeping their bloodlines and so on. So, the focus on having male children was very important, is very important per se. Times are changing though. So, sometimes in some societies there are problems with women, so they choose a female queen to be an example. If there are problems with men, they choose male. Uh, so they corrupted him to teach the royal how to make love to their wives so that they can have male children or healthy children and so on and so forth. And in the process he got corrupted and was shouting out curses on the streets on people, so they further hated him and questioned him and asked him where and why he's the way he is. He told all the stories of the palace, defiled supposedly the royal image, which created the unrest in the society, because naturally people want to pretend like they are all holy. So you end up having laws in communism such as women and men cannot hug and kiss in public, and this creates invariably certain misuse of authority in the men's lives. Women, in order to protect themselves from abusive husbands, would spike them with alcohol every time they come from work, because when the works are very hard and difficult, men are angry back home and they'll be raping them or taking them by force, not in a gallant way as men should be, or like gentlemen with women. And you have a spiral of how women in societies are protecting themselves from violent men and abuses, trying to keep their health and live longer and things like that. So you have all of those policies on how women ought to protect themselves from violent men. And when you're living in a society where you can't speak up as a woman, underhanded methods are used in curtailing the desires of women folk and men folk. So you have the nuns in the societies who used to isolate girls who have been violated or treated badly, and in the process nunneries also got corrupted, where all that information would be lodged in to books So there's quite a lot to talk about this issue. For now, I made sweet potato, water leaf vegetables, garden egg, and some chili, both sweet and hot spicy. Just a touch of heat increases the metabolism of people, but it's dangerous to the liver. So soups with pepper that is fatty, you can use bone marrow with it, and that lubricates. This is how you have unique way of cooking where people are identifying what works for them and not. How I prepared this was that I first boiled yesterday some chicken, and in the broth it got dark in charcoal, like burnt, and I simply boiled the sweet potato in it so that it will have a smoky taste, and just simply salt on the vegetables. I allowed it to be tough, like almost burnt as well. This is how dishes evolve in the society, and people need to understand that with the food intake, people changed their way of life and how they treat each other and themselves. So just plastering things on the plate doesn't really speak of how the person feels about himself. So you have chefs who are looking for real nice designs and all of that so that they are appreciated, and in the process they become such professionals where they can't relax and stand for being belittled in the society. So chefs are treated delicately and highly ranked for the thoughts that they put in on meals, but the actual tricks and skills, where did they come from? They came from mothers and fathers who are interested in cooking. In Nigeria, we don't have male cooks. It's mostly females because they laugh at men who like to cook, and that professional angle is very weak in this part of the country. So usually men are relegated into being messengers into the markets to bring stuff, but usually they end up bringing substandard products into the restaurants because they don't know quality, as women are picky about. So you can see that in the restaurant business you have so much that you need to train out of the society to understand how important professions are and how they have evolved. So I hope you enjoy yourself with some guava tea this morning. I didn't put citrus yet, but I'm going to do that later. You can add a piece of it to your plates. Enjoy, food for thought. Hope you enjoyed this moment. And let's talk. Startup City Boa speaking.